Hello, this is Mayor Karina Smith-Gadke. This is the June Council catch-up. So we had our June meeting on the 19th and we called the meeting to order at 6:32. We adopted the agenda with a slight amendment to add zoning bylaw number SR-125-33, which is in regards to 327 Taylor Road. The report was presented at Committee of the Whole, but was inadvertently left off the agenda, and we've added it back in for the final passing. There was only declaration of pecuniary interest. Myself and Councillor Jameson declared an interest in regards to the private lane road grants. There was no in-camera session. And the next items were the council minutes, which were passed, as well as the Public Planning Act meeting minutes and Committee of the Whole and Committee of Adjustment. Staff reports included a zoning bylaw amendment changing a rural designation to shoreline residential, and that passed. Under information items, we had the 2022 Annual Integrity Commission report, which came forward with a clean bill of health, if you will. The Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus regarding paramedic services and a partial refresh. This is pertaining to some things you might have heard in the news, and it has to do with our paramedics here in the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville being called into the City of Ottawa to help in times when their service is overwhelmed, which is absolutely how the services are supposed to work. The difference is that the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville does not have a reciprocal agreement with the City of Ottawa to pay for those services and vice versa. We do, however, have an agreement with the County of Frontenac, which allows us to recoup the costs associated with having our paramedics, as well as all of the assets required to carry out the service. And over the last 4 years, it's cost the taxpayers of the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville in excess of $1 million, in addition to the cost of serving our own population here. But what makes it more interesting is that there's other counties, such as County of Lanark, County of Renfrew, SD&G, who are all experiencing similar challenges where they're being called into the City of Ottawa. So we as a group, meaning the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus, so our warden, Mayor Nancy Peckford from North Grenville, is representing us, trying to meet with the City of Ottawa to see if we can come up with a better solution. There was also a letter from the Women of Ontario Say No regarding legislative amendments to improve municipal codes of conduct and enforcement. This is an important letter, and we are looking into possibly having a resolution come to council for support to let the provincial government know that bad behavior, both at the council table and with staff, is not acceptable. We also had our 2022 annual report for the township. Please, if you haven't seen it, please go on our website. You will find a copy there and on social media. So this is really important because it is a sort of a report card of all the things that we've done throughout the year, whether it be building permits, or road work, recreation programs, how many people participated. It's a really great report to see what exactly we've accomplished over the past year. We also had a planning report, SR 113-23, which is the agricultural area review for the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville. If you have agricultural property here in the municipality, we urge you to look into this consultation process. They are looking at making sure that agricultural land is zoned correctly. So in this particular case, you may have agricultural land that is zoned rural that you want to have protected, or vice versa. You have some land that might be scrub and it's deemed agricultural land, and that precludes any sort of development whatsoever. So it's really important, if you have agricultural lands here in the township, that you get involved in that process. Under action items, we had planning report SR-12123, supplementary report to SR-114-23, which was regarding short-term rentals, surveys, and results. We also, now that I think about it, we had one councillor declare conflict on this, Councillor Lackey, so he was not part of this discussion, either at Committee of the Whole or Council. And the motion is to direct staff to proceed with amendments to the administrative monetary penalty bylaw and associated bylaws to implement increased fines for a second and subsequent offense, to address concerns identified by the public regarding noise, property standards, and safe properties, to address survey input received regarding short-term rentals, and that the staff be directed to increase the fines in the noise bylaw to provide greater cost recovery for the addition of evening and weekend enforcement, that staff prepare communication materials and update the township website with information regarding short-term rentals and bylaw enforcement to raise awareness regarding the bylaw enforcement and how to report concerns to the township, and that we're authorizing municipal bylaw enforcement, Frontenac municipal bylaw enforcement for after-hours calls, and the costs incurred for that bylaw enforcement be funded by the bylaw enforcement operating budget, and that staff continue to monitor this bylaw and report back to council in Q4 2023 regarding the number of these types of complaints regarding short-term rentals and any actions taken. So this was a very important motion because short-term rentals have been a concern for the last year and a half. We received some data regarding the applicable options that we would have in order to dissuade people from breaking any sort of noise bylaws, fire bylaws, and it was felt that we would take this initial step to see how that turned out, and if there was any further movement needed or any other bylaws to be enacted, we would do it at that time. Next is the planning report, request to permit access over a township road, and it's from Emily and Garrett Dillman in regards to the end of Beaver Road, and that passed. There was another administration report for physician recruitment, and that the motion was that council approve physician recruitment incentives and the 2023 budget I described in the administration report SR 119-23. This is also a very important bylaw that came forward. We had been approached by a number of the medical centers in the area, Sealy's Bay, Lansdowne, and Gananoque, who all serve the residents here in the township, that they are looking to recruit and replace existing doctors so that we can maintain the doctors that we have and maintain the need here in the township. So we're happy to be part of that process. There is no easy solution, but along with the town of Gananoque, we will do everything we can to work with these doctors and their practices to continue to have them function at 100% level going forward. We also awarded a tender for the UCLG competition PW-2023-005, which is the supply and delivery of petroleum fuel products and propane gas. This is in regards to all of our needs regarding gas and propane, and we awarded that through a joint tender with the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville. The Centennial Park gazebo, the motion came forward to put up a shade sail versus going forward with a gazebo due to the costs had risen significantly. We had in our budget in 2022 $35,000. The quotes came in excess of $65,000 to $128,000, which is significantly higher than what was expected. This is to replace the TP that was unfortunately not in a fixable state and had to come down. This motion was deferred. It was suggested by the Ward 2 councillors that there needed to be further consultation with the community in regards to how we would replace that. So that has been deferred for further consultation. Operations report SR-126-23, which is winter maintenance and planning. The motion was to authorize staff to proceed with the proposed reconfiguration of winter control plow routes as described in operations report SR-126-23. This is another exciting time where we are partnering along with our neighboring municipality of Front of Yonge, where they will be utilizing our services. They will be paying us to partially plow their routes. But the great part about this partnership is that we actually benefit as much from the partnership as the Front of Yonge does, in that they don't have to buy new equipment to replace some of their older assets, which are becoming extremely expensive. It will allow us to reduce our plow routes, which will also allow us to have a second turn of the plows, because we will not have our public works people having to come back to get sand from here. We've made an arrangement with the Kingtown garage through the front of Yonge to load our sand there. So it seems something very simple, but this agreement is only for 1 year, but it will allow us to see what this partnership does for both of our municipalities and if it makes sense for us to do it going forward. Next was the Larose Bay Road property acquisition. We authorized the transfer of $25,000 from the Operations and Contingency Fund for survey, legal, and construction of a cul-de-sac on Larose Bay Road. This particular acquisition allows us to get emergency service vehicles and plows an area whereby they can turn around safely in the event that we need to go down that road. Operations Report SR-12823 Private Road Grant Program. The Council approved the distribution of $25,000 in private road grants, and this was the capital stream. So this allowed private lane owners, property owners on private lanes, to increase the width of their roads, cut back brush, put in new drainage, culverts, make things wider. So speaking to the previous motion, which was the cul-de-sac idea, if there's any way on any of these private roads we can make it easier for emergency services to get in and out, it will be better for all of us in the future. We appointed the Area at Large Cataraqui Source Protection Committee municipal appointment to Ms. Christy Kelly. We also had the special council meeting for the Community Improvement Plan presentation, and that we will be going forward hopefully with that on August 24th. So usually we don't meet in August, but we've now set a date for August 24th to have a special council meeting on that date regarding the Community Improvement Plan. So it would be great if many members of the community would come out and participate and listen to the presentation and make any other suggestions you might have at that time. Regarding my mayor's update, at the time, the total burn ban had been lifted as of June 16th and has been changed to a partial burn ban. Campfires and outdoor appliances are permitted. All other burning is still prohibited until further notice, and I believe that remains in effect. The Schoolhouse Jam is also going to take place this June 24th from 1 to 11 p.m. at the Rockport Recreation Hall. So if you're looking for something to do this Saturday, I would highly recommend that. We also have the TLTI Food Cycler Pilot Project, and that is up and running. We're looking for people to join us in tackling food waste in the home. There's only 100 spots available. Please visit our website for more information. Also visit our website to register for recreation programs from July till September, including Fit and Fabulous, Fab Nature Camps, and more. We have Ride the River coming to the Rockport area on June 25th. This is a fundraiser for the Brockville General Hospital Foundation. Also, the Mapleview Lodge fundraising is happening on Saturday, and it is a sold-out show at that time. Another thing that you would want to put in your calendar is the Sealy's Bay Canada Day celebrations on July the 1st. So if you haven't made plans for July the 1st for Canada Day, please make sure that Sealy's Bay is on your list. And lastly, June is Seniors Month, and there will be a tea party and volunteer celebration at 2 p.m. on June the 28th on Wednesday. So if you're able to, please join us at the Lansdowne Community Building at 2 p.m. And that's it for the Council Catch-Up.